I've really been enjoying doing these solo videos, so I'm going to do another one for this game, which I really like playing solo, and I know it's on Calendel's queue, but don't worry, this won't be repetitive once his gets up, because he tends to play the regular game solitaire, and I'm actually going to play the solo on this. I have the boxed SPI version, it's not the magazine version, and in it there are specific on the sheet rules here that basically give a little bit different sequence of play. It modifies things a little bit, but it also gives a chart for preferences, or priorities, I guess I should say, on how the aliens will attack. So we'll dive into it. I guess I should explain a little bit about what's going on before I dive into it. So I am playing the Terran faction as per the rules for this solitaire system. It's basically Space Marines. There's a scout and an engineer, and they have different things that they can do. Really, the infantry, Space Marines, I think they're called infantry, or they're called lancers actually. They're just typical infantry. They're fighters. The engineers can create breaches, and the scouts are just quick. These are 6 potential ships I can come in on. We're playing on the Hive, which is the alien ship, I guess. And it's tubular, so this space connects there. There's lasers up there that can shoot at my ships as they're incoming. Docking, it's the placeholder, and then these ships will be placed in here and open the hatch, and then the Space Marines can come in. Basically, right here, what we have is 4 chit pools. Up here are queens. This mix B has a queen in it, but it also has some of the grunts for the aliens, and also the ambassador and his daughter, who is so eloquently passed out there on the cover. And those are the characters that we're trying to rescue. In here are some other chits, mines, and alien infantry, and then this is kind of the grunts. These will get seated along with the queens and the mix B. There's not given a name. It's mix B. So they'll be seated according to the chart, and we'll get going. I got so tied into playing I forgot to come back in video. The Terrans came in here with the breach, there and there. This force had 2 scouts in it, and turns out stupidly split up their forces. The Master Queen was here, which means that's where the hostages go. They ended up right there. There's a Terran force here. That Terran force is now dead, and one of the hostages is back under non-control, and the princess here is with the Terrans. Unfortunately, all of these people are about to gang up on them. We're through the Terran second turn of movement. I chose to go with the Punitive mission, I believe it's called, where it's just trying to kill the most opposing units. Not doing so well right now. However, the Terrans jumped on a single unit there and a single unit there. What happens here, though, is going to be huge. So there's 2 Lancers here that are going to try to get into the fight, but it's going to take them another turn. And then we'll hopefully try to get the engineer and the princess into the craft and maybe take off just to be sure. And I'm right back. So the Znon took their turn, and this is what I love about this solitaire system. You roll a die and it gives you priorities for how the aliens react, and it's almost like it was in reaction to what just happened. During the Terran melee phase, they wiped out those units. They were over the elimination factor before even a die roll, and the Terrans got one hostage back. The roll was move toward the friendly hostage, so if the priority had instead been to move toward the Terran player, there'd be this stack of, actually, yeah, I was overstacked there, but there would be a stack of 3 8 strength right there. Instead, they're swarming around the captive, protecting them, swarming around the queen, protecting her, and then the rest swarmed together. Very interesting. There will be a combat here, but it shouldn't be terrible. It's only a difference of 1 right now. So things are looking up for the princess. So I got to the point where the Terrans had wiped out, or have wiped out, 2 queens, rescued the princess. So that's 5, that's 6, 11 to the good, and they're 4 units down, which I think is just 1 per, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so they're at 7 points, so they decided to scram. Everyone got back to their bases. There was no threat out here. After the initial placement, aliens don't come out unless you enter these pods. I have someone watching over my back. So everyone got on the ships, and now they're going to leave. And I thought I'd film that and then give some final thoughts on this. So 5 and 6 will shoot at Delta. 3 and 4 will shoot at Epsilon Indy, and 1 and 2 will shoot at whatever F is. So on a 1 to 3, they have to make a damage roll. So that is yes. And then another for what the damage is 5. So 4 units were destroyed, and we'll take that from, shoot, I might have messed this up. So that's 4 units. The scout and engineer are still there. 5 is gonna shoot. It hits. That was completely destroyed. So the princess is dead. Number 4 shooting at E hits. 3 is 2. This isn't looking good. 3 shoots, and misses. 2 shoots at F. Misses. 1 hits. 4 kills, which I'll do that way. So I think I'm gonna have to recount. 11 to 7. The princess dying was a huge swing. So the Terran player lost. I should say I lost. I don't think I liked this variant as much. Sorry. Striving to find and capture the hostages, I guess not capture, but rescue. The hostages really seems to be, you know, a goal to stretch for. You still have to get off the ship and face the lasers. I didn't worry too much about that. I usually do. I'd take out 3 or 4 of them. I wasn't taking that into account. I was just looking at the numbers up front, not thinking about getting off. Probably should have attacked one more pod and tried to get another queen, maybe. It wasn't very punitive. Only 2 hives or 2 command centers were activated. So I think from now on I'll just play the rescue mission, play it out like I usually do. This was also a lot shorter. I know I didn't really explain kind of movement and combat and all that stuff, but just thought I'd give an overview of what's going on. Kind of a disappointing play. I'll probably tape another one. This wasn't particularly what I was looking for.